And welcome to the I've got it written down. I'm excited. The Ruined Lockdown Movie Spectacular. What the
Yay!
hell does that mean? That means I couldn't think of a topic and I needed to do a special because I needed to cram a little bit more content in before my monthly thing re-upped. So I said, hey, what movies have we been watching? I'm going to get started with what movie that I just watched yesterday because I don't know what time is anymore. Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, but I got to watch Back to School unrated, and I forgot how great Back to School unrated is because I think I was watching it too many times
good.
on like TNT and shit like that, so I forgot like how great it is, and I forgot that movies used to show boobs for no other reason than to just show boobs.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen unrated Back to School.
But
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. I don't know if I've ever actually seen boobs.
Oh, no.
You're in for a treat, so don't worry.
Wayne, it's actually worth it because there's a couple parts in it when you watch it, and then it's like stuff that wasn't edited for TV that they put back in, where you're like, oh my god, this movie is just so fantastic. But it's definitely worth one. It's not. I don't think it's one of those ones that's necessary for unrated. Like I can still enjoy it on regular TV. Like I really tried to. I put on Old School for like 5 minutes on like I think it was on TBS or something, and I went, oh, this is.
Yeah.
I can't. I need badness. I need badness. I need all the R-ratedness to enjoy this flick. Any good comedies that anybody's been watching?
My family likes Adam. Sorry, go ahead, Laura.
No, go ahead, Patrick.
Oh, my family likes the Adam Sandler Netflix movies, so I stomached that with them. And then we did rent Jumanji, the sequel, so that was pretty good.
So, what did you think of the sequel?
It was entertaining. I mean, they brought everybody. Danny DeVito, like The Rock doing Danny DeVito, but Kevin Hart, of course, stole the movie trying to talk slow like Danny Glover, and he wasn't getting the information out fast enough, so everybody was dying.
I have to admit, Wayne, did you watch that one yet?
So I kind of did. We had it. We rented it and we were watching it while we were doing like a social distance happy hour on the driveway thing with some friends. But like I need to rewatch it because I wasn't paying close enough attention. But from what I was paying attention to, it seemed pretty funny.
There's some solid stuff in it. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was hilarious.
I have to admit, like, what surprised me is I think Kevin Hart is already talented. Like, I think he's talented. I think he's funny. So him doing the Danny Glover thing, I'm kind of, not that I'm expecting him to do it, but I'm like, he's a trained stand-up comedian. That's a character. He should be able to do it. The Rock doing DeVito was a real pleasant surprise.
He's got good comedic timing. He's got really good comedic timing, which I think it dates back to his wrestling and his stage presence. He's got that ability.
I mean, he was really good. I really enjoyed it. But yet again, there's Jack Black coming out of nowhere, just going like, why wasn't this guy a more popular actor? I think, is it because he didn't take as many roles, you think, or he just?
It's the LSD. He can't help it.
No, I wonder, like, with like other like the Sandlers and it's SNL guys, right? That go mainstream. They not sell out, but they're willing to just go more generic comedy. Jack Black's always been kind of weird comedy, and the roles he takes have always been funny, but never quite hit that mainstream of like Wayne's World or like
yeah.
Like, saying it was how many there's so many people that talk well of Jack Black movies, but then there's a lot of people like it just doesn't they don't get it.
No, I think you're right, Wayne. And even in those movies, I don't think in the Jumanji movies, he wasn't getting the credit where credit is due. Because I think all of them are funny. And Karen Gilliam, I liked her on Doctor Who, I liked her in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I liked her in this. I'm trying to think if I saw her in anything else. Was she in anything else? Oh, that show. She was on the TV show, which was pretty good too. She was on the.
Nebula? Did you say Nebula?
No, Nebula. Yeah, I liked her as Nebula.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know. Yeah.
As Nebula. What was that show called?
Selfie. It was called Selfie.
Selfie. I liked that show. I guess it got canceled.
Yes, it did. It hasn't been on the air for 4 years. They let it go, Laura.
I'm recently upset about this.
But speaking of films that were on the movie side of supposed to be in it, well, not a theater, but it was new to pay-per-view when all this came out. Laura and I had to watch the movie that was released instead of in the theater directly to the pay-per-view. And that, of course, would be Trolls World Tour.
I haven't watched that yet.
Hey, what I'd like you to do is, after this, you want the experience, I want you to go to your garage or car hole, and I want you to grab the biggest hammer you have, take your testicles out of your pants and smash them. That'll be the same experience you'll have watching Trolls World Tour.
Well, I have a young kid too, so but I've been lucky. He's been asking about Trolls too, so we haven't watched it yet. But in the last week, I have watched Spies in Disguise, which was actually pretty funny. I thought that it was Will Smith and Tom
Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Thought that was actually pretty. I chuckled a bunch. It was an entertaining movie. I watched Boss Baby.
How was that?
Oh, it's painful. Well, first, the thing is, there's like 3 seasons on Netflix, and he's watched the 3 seasons on Netflix like 6 times in like the last 3 months. He's never actually seen the movie. So I'm like, well, buddy, let's go watch the movie. And then he's complaining that some of the voice actors from the movie and the TV show are different. I'm like, really? But then the other kids movie we just watched was
7.
Yeah, he's 6, 7. And then the other movie we watched was Scoob.
How was Scoob? My daughter's begging me to watch.
I enjoyed it. It wasn't a traditional Scooby-Doo mystery thing, but it was entertaining. It wasn't god awful, and they're setting up and this is not really spoilers, but they're setting up a shared universe for the Hanna-Barbera.
Oh, that's cool.
So think of all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
So like a wacky racist kind of situation.
Some of those characters show up. Some of the various characters. So which was cool because I wasn't expecting to turn around and see like, oh, that's one of my favorite characters from various Hanna-Barbera cartoons and stuff when I was a kid. So he liked it. Leanne and we liked it because it was entertaining. It was worth it. I don't know if I'd buy it for $18. We kind of rented it we had like a credit and rented it.
Yeah,
but it was good.
I'm going to try to hold out till it becomes the actual rental fee, but I'll figure something out. And Wayne, don't ever worry about spoiler alerts on this show for movies like Scoob, because the young population ain't listening to us.
Ain't listening to this one? Yeah. No, I mean, probably my favorite Hanna-Barbera character is Dick Dastardly, and I like Muttley. And their characters in the movie, Muttley's so in the I love it. I'm like, and there's like little throwbacks. Like there's a scene where they're getting chased, right? And they run into like an arcade, and one of the arcade, they like Shaggy and Scooby grab an arcade and throw it in front of the door, like a game, like a pinball game, and it's a Hong Kong Phooey pinball game or something. You've seen like all these little like things. So it's kind of cool.
That is cool.
That was a good movie.
Hey, so has anybody rewatched the movie where you were like, I thought I liked this movie, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought it was? Any of those movies come to mind? I have one.
I have a lot.
How about the James Bond movie that You Only Live Twice? Because you all bastards put me in a train of watching every James Bond movie ever made in order. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that the Amazon Prime thing was running out. I only got 13 movies in before it ran off.
Wait, that one is always a skip for me when I. Let's leapfrog that.
I'm like, wow. Granted, a lot of the James Bond movies have a lot of like issues with like rape and sex, whatever. They all force it. That one is just that hits every nail of the not PC anymore.
You mean turning a 6'3" Scottish man into an Asian man?
Oh man, it was bad.
No, Patrick, did you have?
We lost your trust, huh, Wayne? We lost your trust.
No. It's just I watched your all episode on James Bond. I'm a huge James Bond. I watched those movies all the time as a kid, and then Amazon Prime had them on, so I started watching it, and then I got the notice that it's leaving in a week. Shit, I got to try to watch 21 movies in a week. I got through 13 of them. And what's stupid is I have the rest of them on DVD. I could have kept going, but I kind of got sidetracked.
That's a quest.
I watched 13 James Bond movies in like 5 days.
Hey, Patrick, did you have one?
Mine what's funny, I think I texted you guys. I have a lot that I did a repeat. I watched some new ones, but the Zack Snyder cut coming out got me excited. So I actually have been rewatching like Man of Steel and I've got the director's cut of Batman versus Superman. And even as a Marvel guy, I got to say, I know I'm in the limited here. When you let the man tell a story, it was really actually good. So I'm actually looking forward to the Snyder cut of Justice League. But the one I did text you guys, I had to find on YouTube, was Full Eclipse with Mario Van Peebles. It's Werewolf Cops.
Where are the werewolf cops?
And it's still a good movie, but it's lost a little bit of luster. It's lost some luster with the special effects, we'll say.
Patrick, this is like an intervention. This is like when everybody intervened when I tried to say Cop Rock was good. We're all here to tell you Full Eclipse wasn't good.
Bad movies is like a drug. It's a bad side I have. I love them, but it was an action movie more than anything. But they would get like Wolverine claws in their hand, so they could still hold their gun and shoot instead of people while they were running.
So I watched the middle 20 minutes of it and the final 30 minutes of it, and I kind of went to myself, I don't think this was a very good movie. Was Rounders.
Ooh, well.
I don't know. I don't think it held up as well, but
I don't know what that is.
That's the one where Matt Damon plays poker.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up all that well, but that's when what Femke Janssen became like. Isn't she the one that runs the poker place?
Yeah.
That was like one of her first movies that I remember. Like, oh wow, she's hot. And then she goes on for X-Men after that or something. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in it, but John Malkovich, I don't think was given any direction except for play a Russian.
Badly.
And I'm not really sure what accent he's doing, but it does sound like he was auditioning for Boris and Natasha too, The Revenge of Bullwinkle.
I'll tell you though, the cast of that movie though, Matt Damon, Ed Norton, like
Unbelievable.
just
Yeah,
but I don't think it holds up. You're right. It probably doesn't hold up to today.
Yeah, it was just Martin Landau's in that movie too.
Yep.
Personal friend of Wayne Kruger.
Yeah, I did meet him that one time at Dragon Con. He was that dude at like 90 was smoking like six packs a day. Jesus.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He was in the same hotel at Dragon Con, and he would literally every 15 minutes he was taking the elevator down to go outside to smoke. It's insane. At like 3 a.m, he's out there smoking. You're like, Jesus.
And that's a commitment at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
To take the elevator that much.
I think I went down I started rewatching a lot of old movies that I used to watch as a young kid, and I think it's an amazing movie, but most people say it's a really crappy movie. But Super Fuzz, or they call it Super Snooper. Okay, it's Ernest Borgnine and Terrence Hill, and it's actually originally in the Japanese thing. He's a cop in Miami that gets irradiated, gets superpowers.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Wait, Borgnine does?
No, Terrence Hill from Man with No Name, the famous, the blonde guy, and it's like really an Italian dub movie and it's in Miami. He gets superpowers. He can't figure out his superpowers, but every time he sees red, he loses his powers. And it's
God, I remember this. He's not making this up. It's true.
It's a Matt, how have you not seen this movie?
I've got it now. No, I know what I'm going to fucking watch tomorrow.
Super Fuzz. It's called Super Fuzz in America, but in the Italian version, it's called Super Snooper.
Holy shit! I've got it.
Better than Wolf Cops. It's much better.
I'm not watching Wolf Cops. I'm watching Super Fuzz. I'll tell you, when me and Wayne, before the show got started, we're talking about how our sleep and everything else is, of course, with all this stuff going on, is kind of screwy and everything. And I said, the worst part is when you're trying to get to sleep and I'm still on my cell phone. I finally learned this. Here comes JoJo the idiot boy. I finally learned that on my phone, Laura taught me how to put the Spectrum app on there so I can watch live TV on my phone while I'm lying in bed. And I normally don't do it, except for AMC had Godfather 2 on at like 3 a.m. So I'm sitting there playing a game, watching AMC. But here's the thing. AMC is one of those goddamn stations that doesn't control their volume well.
From the commercials. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I feel so bad. I swear, how Laura did not wake up, because it went from the scene where De Niro is sitting on the balcony, sitting on the steps, and Michael, I love you very much, and like it's all quiet, and it's just this beautiful crescendo, and then as soon as it goes down, it's like Planet X Superstore. Who's ready to fuck?
Yeah,
Because
commercials at 3 a.m. are probably all about
it is there's one I think I just name dropped them. Hopefully they'll give me a sponsorship. They just and the worst is I will record stuff on Adult Swim that is broadcast at like 3:30 in the morning, and I'll watch it, in the afternoon or something, and Laura comes walking by and we'll just hear these commercials and she goes, "What the fuck are you watching? Lonely? Need some toys? Order now. Get six naughty movies." What the fuck? Let me get it. I mean, it's 6 movies. Hey, sweetheart, and of course I'm talking to Patrick. No, sweetheart, what are some of the movies that you've enjoyed watching on this lockdown?
I liked watching the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, we watched Rise of Skywalker, and actually we watched the entire original trilogy.
We did. We rewatched that.
How much did you enjoy that?
Which one?
All of them. Did you enjoy all of them, or was it fading?
Well, I liked Rise of Skywalker.
I'm talking about New Hope and Empire and Jedi.
Rewatching them, I definitely think New Hope is I still think New Hope is the best movie.
Is it, follow-up question, is it completely unbearable to watch them with me?
I don't know how many times I told you to shut up, but I mean, you usually do, so.
I think I needed to leave the room at Jabba's barge, though, because I was so angry. That fucking Venus flytrap comes up. Looks like Little Shop of Goddamn Horrors.
Every time there was something added, that wasn't in the original cut. That wasn't in the original cut. Was it Han shot first? Why are they doing this? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, great.
Did you watch them like in a marathon, or did you watch them space them out?
We watched one each night over the course of a week, really.
Okay. Yeah,
and then so Matt had started. I started watching The Mandalorian with you, but I didn't really pay enough attention to it. So we rewatched that when I was in Star Wars mode. So I thought that was way better than any of the last movies.
Nice. I agree.
So, Laura, what was more irritating for you? Me putting on Roadhouse every time it was on for the last 3 weeks, or my commentary during Star Wars?
The commentary. I like Roadhouse.
I will tell you one movie I caught, and I think I actually like it more on a second viewing, was Spider-Man: Far From Home. I watched it a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like it a little bit more. I don't know why. It was not that I didn't hate it, but to me it was just like put in that Marvel category of, hey, I watched it, I'm done, but I caught it on like Showtime or whatever.
Yeah.
I
only saw it the one time in the theaters. I thought I need to watch it again. I think off topic, that would be a good topic for Ruin, would be get people on who you have three different Spider-Man movies, actors that have done multiple movies now, and which rank Spider-Man movies, because that causes some serious debates amongst nerds about who's the best.
Wow.
I agree with you. And
I feel like Colin has resurrected it. I feel like he saved it. I don't want to say. I mean, at what point would you say that it was ruined?
Well, that would be a whole show.
Well,
I will say this about the Tom Holland Spider-Man. He gets fucking shit from other Marvel characters for shit that he's done that is like 1/400th of any of the motherfucking shit they've ever done.
And that's how it is in the books. That's why I think, that's how it is in the books.
Bullshit. Like, Tony Stark randomly went to a village and almost started World War III because he watched a news story. And then the first time he was building it, he almost blew up his fucking house. So I don't want to hear. And then he used to sell arms to terrorists. So fuck him.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, I believe, committed crimes against the cosmos. The Incredible Hulk destroyed Harlem.
Cities.
Destroyed it, everybody.
misunderstood.
Did it keep going? And I believe they all but said that Hawkeye and Black Widow just randomly murdered fucking people.
They were government assassins. Yeah.
Yeah,
They have
I'm
red
pretty
in their
sure
legend.
There's an
Yes.
entire goddamn scene where both of them look, hey, we've done a lot of shit. Wait, what? No. Time out, everybody. Go back. What exactly have you done?
I feel like both Spider-Man and Ant-Man get a lot of shit for like
Right.
for
And what did
things.
Spider-Man do? You took the suit out and saved 300 people.
Right.
Well, in Civil
Every
War,
one
he
of
was
those other
taking-
assholes created their villains. Spider-Man's just like, what the fuck, motherfuckers?
Okay, we're gonna have to put the explicit content warning on this.
Tony Stark actually created Spider-Man's
He's still
villain
going,
when
guys.
coming. Tony
I
Stark
know.
created it. Not even
I poked the
Spider-Man.
bear.
He's still going. I live with him.
Hey, Tony
Oh,
sacrificed himself
Wait, am
at
I
the
wrong?
end.
Am I wrong? Just
You're
tell
not.
me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hey, Matt, Olivia's sleeping. You want to take it down a notch?
Yo, are you kidding me? That kid's up to fucking 2 o'clock in the morning watching goddamn. Thank God they put the kid's YouTube video on.
Yeah, but no, I could do some serious debates on the Spider-Man movies and the actors that played them, because actually I think Andrew Garfield was really good in that first movie.
I did.
I think it's criminally
All they
underrated.
needed to do, Wayne, is just say fuck it and make Garfield a college age
Yep.
Spider-Man.
They screwed him in the second movie, and I think people judge him as Spider-Man because of the 2 movies. But but I love the first. Anyway, that's it. That's
No.
Save that for now.
I'm a big
It's the movie
Spider-Man geek.
spectacular, Wayne.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
ruin spectacular. It goes where it goes. But yeah, I think like even in that second one, yeah, Garfield's not the problem.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield wasn't the one telling Jamie Foxx to do whatever he did in that movie.
Yep.
Or the other kid who was forced out the throats. Hey,
I
Patrick.
still like Titanic. Does that count?
There's plenty of room on that raft for 2 people.
Speaking of Spider-Man, let's go to Titanic.
Wayne, what are you talking about? There's nobody on that boat. Every time I walked in while she's watching that movie, they show the deck. There's 4 people on the thing. It looks like a cutscene from a PlayStation 2 game. There's nobody on the boat.
I mean, the movie, the visuals of the movie are what make it. I mean, the story is basically, you could have had that same love story on any other setting, and
Right. Hey, I walked in. Hey, the best part is I walked in and they were showing the captain freaking out, and the like you said, the visuals of the not boiler room, you know what I'm saying, the engine room. The guys are jumping, everything like that, and then it's the hardest cut. I mean, the jump cut almost snapped my neck. To them talking about a jacket with Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, I'm like, I don't fucking care. The icebergs hit the boat. I don't care about this story anymore. It would be a C story on the Love Boat, that the poor boy wants to hook up with the girl.
Yeah.
This would be the shitty story on the Love Boat, but it's like if the Love Boat hit a fucking iceberg.
Well, that's the whole point.
I'm sorry
it's not,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura. Go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say that's the whole point. It's not an important thing that's happening in the grand scheme of what's about to happen to them. That's
I tell you what, though, if I ever found out that my great grandmother or grandmother threw $100 million diamond in the water, I'm throwing her ass in too.
Yeah, right.
Down you go,
Right in the
Granny.
ice
There you go. Are you
Go
kidding me?
get
I don't
it,
care
Granny.
how much you loved him or how whatever. That sets up your family for generations, and you just threw it in the water.
One
that's
of
the ultimate boomer action.
So here at Ruin, we were rooting for the iceberg.
Yes, I was too.
I like the fact that the woman survived, had a family, lived to be 100 years old, but when she dies, what she wants is to go hook up back with Leo DiCaprio on the sinking ship again in the dream sequence. How about her fucking husband she was married to for 60 years? That's a kick in the crotch.
Yeah.
She had plenty of time with him, Matt. She wants the afterlife with her first love.
That fucking shit. I will say that rewatching some of these, movie actually, I was looking for movies too that would just totally escape as much as possible. So like I had to like rewatch, and the reason I was rewatching stuff is because anything new would just, I don't know, it was giving me anxiety. So I watched a movie, and this is Wayne gave the Super Fuzz recommendation. Patrick has given the Full Eclipse.
Yeah.
Laura, you can recommend a movie next, but I recommend the movie Shade, which is a poker movie with oh shit, what's that kid's name? It's not Cillian Murphy. It's the other kid. He was the Invisible Man in League of Gentlemen.
Oh
Stuart
God.
Townsend.
Yeah.
Stuart Townsend's in it, and Stallone is in it. Stallone's like is like a side character. Gabriel Byrne's in it. It's a very, very good movie.
Have I seen this movie?
I don't know if you've watched it with me. It's very
Okay.
good. It's very. They had no budget, so they kind of had to get creative where they filmed. But it's good. It's worth the watch. Is it a
new movie?
What?
Is this
2003.
newer?
2003. It has nothing to do with like I don't know. There's no anxiety for me watching it. I can watch a poker movie.
What's the one that now I'm confused? What's the one with Tandy Newton that were there? What?
That one.
Oh, it's that movie.
Yes.
Well, then we've watched that together no less than 3 times. So
I know, but
what
you
you're
usually leave
talking
the
about.
room and you go do female things. I don't know what you do.
Wait, female things.
I
Wait a
don't
minute.
know.
Heyo.
Are you, sir, saying you're not a feminist?
Laura, I am Laura, I am me. I am Matt Sokalski. And anyone who knows me knows that I really hate everyone equally.
No discrimination from you.
Oh, hey, speaking of movies with the word hate in it, I rewatched Hateful Eight with the extended cut.
Ooh.
Woo!
5-hour movie, huh?
Extended cut's even worse, huh? I mean, worse meaning better. I mean, it was good. Hateful Eight was a decent movie.
I liked it. I mean, the acting is fantastic in it, but man, and I love the Old West, so I enjoyed a lot of the long scenes. But
how long is it?
I was looking at a painting. Like I was like, dude, get away from the snow mountain.
How long is the extended edition?
What?
How long is the extended edition?
Oh, I think it ran for 320, something like that.
Leanne and I watched movies for 12 hours straight one day. We did the entire Lord of the Rings extended edition in one day.
How'd you feel?
It was good. I tell you what, so it was, hey, what a good time to be a nerd and married to a nerd also. She was down. She brought up the idea. So it was, 12 hours a movie in one day.
I will say the one good thing about the Lord of the Rings trilogy is that that's a group that if I see it on a network, I can stop and watch 10 minutes of it, and I know I'm going to enjoy 10 minutes of it.
Yeah. It was cool though because we did a whole day. We did the food around it. So we had breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, lunch, brunch, second lunch, dinner, supper, whatever. So we ate we did little school meals. She cooked theme meals. She did a whole theme menu. So it was great. We loved it. And what I learned though is I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I love those movies. But the extended edition of Return of the King is completely unnecessary. Like if I was to do it again, I would watch regular Fellowship of the Ring, but then there's 3 or 4 scenes in the extended edition that are necessary. The rest of it's not. The Two Towers, I actually think, is a better movie with the extended edition because you get much more backstory on the characters. The Return of the King is just an extra hour of endings that are unnecessary.
And the goddamn thing. End it.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of it. I want to do The Hobbit. I have The Hobbit extended edition.
I was surprised. I actually have an ending in that movie, and I don't even remember filming it.
Throw the damn ring.
What I'd like to do now, though, Wayne, you've inspired me. Laura, I'd like to do an all-day event where we watch The Godfather 1 and 2, and while we're watching it, sync it up to whatever food they're eating. So we have pasta at one point, we have cake when Hyman Roth has it, and then when part 3 comes up, we have a murder-suicide, so we don't have to watch it.
It was cool though. I liked sitting there all day and having little meals. And
wait, I really want to do this with The Godfather.
I would love it. Because you could be making the sauce in the one scene and then having it later,
and then it'd be done.
You gotta get some cannolis.
I need cannolis. There's a part where he comes home and he delivers a pear to his wife, so I need a pear. I'm going to eat along with The Godfather. Ruined his done.
You're definitely going to need an orange.
Oh, yeah, you got to have oranges.
Orange.
I can't do this with wolf cops. All they do is eat people, so I'm screwed on that one. Damn it.
How many sequels are there, Patrick?
It was only 1. That's all it needed.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
I'm very sad. It's not been on later episodes of Ruined
What?
is the Ruined quiz.
I know the
Haven't had a
Rowan
quiz in
will
quite a
come
while.
back tonight. The Rowan quiz will come back.
James
I
Bond
promise.
will return.
James Bond.
What? Yeah, the Rowan quiz will come back. It was kind of tough to do. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it with the Zoom meetings and stuff, but I'm sure I'm going to figure out a way.
Do it with the Spider-Man one. That's perfect.
The Spider-Man one, I'm really thinking about doing a quiz, and I think Wayne and Patrick, you guys are welcome back for that show. That would be a fun show because, Holland hasn't had the bomb. Not the bomb. They didn't bomb. I don't want to get into all that. He hasn't had the disaster movie like the other two have had.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man 3 is a disaster.
Yes.
And
for the dancing scene alone in the bar or whatever.
Oh God.
Wayne, you know something, Wayne? I 100% agree with you. That's the first fucking thing that comes to my mind. Everybody wants to say that kid from that 70s show being Venom. The first thing that comes to my mind is that goddamn dancing scene.
It's awkward. It was just awkward. Like, like they on the set that day, there were people going, "This is gonna suck."
Yeah. And he isn't. I mean, oh God, that movie sucks.
Yeah.
I love part 2 with Doc. I love that one. That was really good, and it just went from here and just part 3.
Not just with Spider-Man, but to me, the downfall with almost all superhero movies is when they start throwing in way too many villains. Once you get 2, 3, 4, 5 villains, Avengers is a different story. They're supposed to fight a ton of different villains. But I mean, you look at the Batman movies, you look at like anytime you throw in 3 or 4 villains,
look at Batman and Robin. There's Batman and Robin. We could teach a class at Columbia University about what's wrong with Batman and Robin and
Whoa. You watch your tone, sir.
Batman and Robin not only has Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, but Bane too, who's a major character. Not a small, like a major character.
He's almost portrayed as a sidekick, right?
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
He wasn't really mainstream. No, I think if you make those movies today, they're and I don't even like the Bane in the new trilogy either. That was dumb.
It's a ruined tradition. We get to speak like Bane now. What is wrong with it, Wayne? I'm Julia Child. If you
merely lived in the darkness, I was.
He lived in. Oh my God, Wayne, help me, Wayne. He was in a pit that was at least 12 stories underground, and that fucking TV got reception, and it somehow got the Gotham Channel.
Of course it did. the rabbit ears worked good, man. It was great.
We have cable. We are good here.
It wasn't that much of a hellhole. They had CNN. Somebody said
Batman and Robin is a better movie, by the way.
Relax there.
Yeah.
I
told Lady Freeze when I pulled her plug, this is a one-woman show.
As the meme,
fact that you can quote that is crazy.
I think she can do all of Uma Thurman in that movie.
I like Arnold, though. That's about it.
Wayne, like you said, like the part where Spider-Man dances in Spider-Man 3. To me, the part that like Dark Knight Rises, I'm gonna make a Family Guy reference, even though some of my friends don't like it, is when Hines Ward is running with the football and the field is just falling behind him. Done. I'm out.
And he turned around like, what happened?
Yeah, like, no, you didn't really feel the ground coming down. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Nolan thing, I mean, it was steeped in sort of realism, right?
Right.
So then, one of the best commissioners of police, whatever, I'm going to send the entire police force underground.
Bottleneck them.
Send them, like, there's just so much of that last movie that I just don't buy. It just doesn't make sense. Like it's just
they call me really, Robin.
I'm not a big fan. I love the first two.
Yeah, I like. It begins.
And then I just felt like, again, it's like it falls apart at the end. It's like I don't,
too many villains.
Too many things coming out of left field, and
Christian Bale. You gave me an army. Thank you.
You know what we wanted to see on screen? We wanted to see a handicapped Batman. That's exactly what we wanted to see.
I want to see them do Batman Beyond and bring in what's his name as Bruce Wayne again, from the original Batman movies. Not original, but the ones with Jack
Michael
Nicholson.
Keaton.
Yeah, bring Michael Keaton back in as the old Batman.
The only time I want to see Bruce Wayne with a cane is if it's Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I would love
Patrick, what were you gonna say?
Oh, it's like with the thing with another subject matter besides just Spider-Man is too, like you've talked about it and we've talked about it. I'm a comic book geek. They have so much lore that they can turn into movies and shows. And I get you want that artistic liberty. Like I want to do my version of Mr. Freeze or whatever, but they have the lore. There's a reason it's popular. Like they're doing it in the books now. They've got people just trying to make up all these new characters. You have tons of old villains. Update them if you want to, but that's the same thing with like Batman Beyond. It's setting there. Could have been made years ago. Nope. But I did hear the new Batman with the Twilight guy. I forget his name right now. What's his name?
Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Evidently, the last Halloween is a major influence on that story, so I'm happy about that. But that's another whole subject: is why don't they do? It's just so frustrating. It's right there. Use it. You
Also,
will make money.
Matt, you like that one?
What, the Long Halloween?
Long
It's
Halloween.
my favorite graphic novel. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my favorite
The-
graphic novel ever made. So yes.
You know, it's pretty clear that the DC, they can't figure out how to do what Marvel's doing in the movies. They just can't figure it out. They're too disjointed. They don't know how to just reboot everything once. But their cartoon movies and their TV shows. You have the Arrowverse, and you have the DCU. You have the Titans, and you've got the Harley Quinn thing, and their comic movies phenomenal compared to the Marvel stuff lately. They, back not in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like if they could just both get on the same page, you get great cartoons and comics.
Yeah, you're right, Wayne. It's like DC's like, oh well, we're gonna have the shared universe and this is everything. Just take your damn time, make a couple of movies.
The Arrowverse is so successful. Just use some of those actors. Like, why wouldn't you're going to do a Constantine movie and you bring back Keanu Reeves? The dude who's playing Constantine on the Arrowverse is phenomenal. Why wouldn't you just let him do it? The guy who played Flash in the DC thing, on the Arrowverse, why wasn't he the Flash in the movie? Like, just dumb. Just
Well, my son is a.
You're absolutely right. If you want to make a Justice League movie, use people that you already have. The only person you want to get women to go to the movies, put Momoa as the Aquaman. They all talk about a guy who gets them all wet.
Yeah.
So all the women are going to see that damn guy. I wasn't even going to go see Justice League until Laura's like, "Oh, we're going to see Justice League, right?" I'm like, "Okay." And then, yeah, look at your smile. Yeah, I know why you went and saw that movie. And then, yeah, exactly. And then, for I guess some guys is Gail Gadot. And then,
you guess. What do you?
Yeah.
Do you know how many blood in your veins? It's awesome.
Wayne, I want you to think about something because you and I have had this conversation. Who's the best Wonder Woman?
Oh, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she ain't no bone rail. I don't need a muscular one. I want one who looks like that.
Gail Gadot is more muscular than you think, though. She's just super tall for
she doesn't bother me. I've gotten over it.
I thought she did a good job.
I tell you one thing: the Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor. What the hell were they thinking with that one?
That's painful.
Millennial.
Millennials bad. Who do the millennials hate?
But if you, again the TV show, right? So Supergirl brings in John Cryer as Luthor. I don't know if you've watched the Arrowverse.
Really?
Oh my God, John Cryer, amazing as Lex Luthor.
And I heard he's leaving now, though. That's the problem.
He's been on because they don't want him to be the permanent villain because that's really Superman's villain, I guess. But you cast John Cryer in the TV show, and he shaves his bald head. He takes some cues from Hackman. He's got a little bit of Michael Rosenbaum in him. He takes a little bit of everybody in his portrayal of it, but he does it. He's Luthor.
I will say, just to kind of we're gonna start wrapping up here in a little bit. But does anybody have any movies that they needed to talk about that are on the list? Patrick?
I will say I kind of contradict myself with the Batman, but I did watch Tim Burton about changing the story. He gets a pass because Tim Burton's awesome. And I also rewatched Sleepy Hollow because I like the story, but the art direction and the set building on that movie is amazing. It's like a Halloween tradition in our house now. Sleepy Hollow, I love it.
I love it. I don't know why. It's one of those ones that's a guilty pleasure for me. I watch it every time it's on.
That
It's-
one definitely held up through the rewatch.
Yeah.
You know, Sleepy Hollow is still an excellent film.
Tim Burton gets a pass on changing things because it's not the same story from the book. Batman's not the same. I would love to have seen his Superman because I know it would have been totally different. But Nick Cage, come on, I'm in.
Tim Burton's like great when he has just a little bit of somebody holding him back. Like when he goes full on Tim Burton, that's too much. But
Any of you guys see the movie Big Eyes?
no.
Yes, the artist one about the
Yeah. Was it any good?
It was okay. It was very kind. All my kids at school actually told me to go watch it, being an artist, and it's good. It's not something you're knocking the door down, but it gets kind of sad because of the whole legal battle and all that. But it's pretty good. If you have time, don't knock over the couch to go see it. You know, watch Godfather trilogy first, then go see that.
I'd say that I've finally got Disney Plus, and so I have to rewatch Tron because that's and even the new one. So I love those. I like going down the road of old school movies.
Yeah, let me tell you that Disney Plus, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I already got I'm gonna watch Flight of the Navigator with my son. I'm gonna watch this. You know.
Because my father has it, and I was over there, and my father goes, "Oh, I've got something for you," and I'm like, "What's he gonna put on? You know, something ridiculous." All of a sudden, Mr. Toad and Ichabod come on. Rip!
Like okay.
I don't think I budged it's only about an hour long. I don't think I moved for 45 minutes. There's some surprises in there too. Like I forgot how bad a movie The Black Hole is.
Don't say that.
But how amazing let me say this.
It's a bad movie. It is a bad movie. I love it though.
I love the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But how amazing some of the visuals was in that, and just
love the robots.
Like, oh my god, this was great.
I love Laura's expression. She's like, "The fuck are they talking about?"
Laura walked
Disney's answer to Star Wars, man.
Yeah.
Laura walked in like Harvey Korman in the pie fight scene in Blazing Saddles one day. She just walked in and went, "What the fuck?" and just walked right out.
Hey, well, though, as a young kid, that movie that when Maximilian when he gets those blades splinting and goes through the book, that's a pretty jarring scene for a little kid. I mean, that's what really I think tanked the Black Hole back in the day. It was certainly a lot darker than.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's even darker. And I thought Tron, Wayne, was a dark movie, but it's way darker than Tron.
No, way darker than Tron. I love Tron. And I thought the remake was the sequel that they just made was damn good. I liked it a lot. And too bad they're not going to do any more of those. They're talking about rebooting it now. The other one that I started watching, but I didn't finish yet, was one of my all-time favorite horrible movies, Ice Pirates.
Yes. God, I didn't know anybody else.
Excited, Patrick.
God, Wayne is becoming my spirit animal too.
Well, if you get any closer to the screen, you're going to knock it over.
Sorry, my internet's going in and out. You guys are freezing, so I didn't know.
How much did you enjoy? It's not a pirate movie. I don't know why it just popped in my head. But remember being a kid watching Time Bandits for the first time?
Yes.
I was in the theater.
End of Time Bandits, going, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, what the hell just happened? And that movie does not hold up very well either.
Dude,
it's not nearly as good. Like that and the Baron Munchausen. Like you watch those two. I remember watching them as a younger kid and going, "Wow, this is so cool." And then I watched it like a couple years ago. I'm like, "This is weird." Like somebody was doing some drugs when they made this movie.
Role playing game, and it's like Terry Gilliam's like nightmare. It's awesome. Laura, Time Bandits is about this kid who, with these dwarves, steal a map from God, and God chases them through time.
Well, it's the devil, isn't it? He the devil.
It's the devil and God, but the God comes and finds him and goes, "Return the map." But then, Laura, at the end, like it's the end of the movie, everything's okay. His parents are brutally murdered.
Yeah. Well, what it is like they eventually win and they defeat evil, like the root of all evil. They lock him away, but except for one little piece of the rock of evil is in like the toaster oven of the parents, and when they open it up, it just and evil's back in the world, killing the kids. I mean, it's like, it's a
the end. But Sean Connery's in it, and he winks at the kid, so.
Wait a minute.
Speaking of horrible Sean Connery.
Movie?
Yes. Well, kind of.
Well, my parents took me.
British.
I was 3, so I don't remember much, but my mom did say in Time Bandits, I looked over at her and be like, what's going on? And why are the little people so angry? She told me that's exactly what I said.
People.
And I'm 3 years old and this place is packed. So I was like, I don't remember saying that because like I said, only 3, but she goes, yeah, you were not happy with that movie. And I was like, now I'll watch it. I'm okay. But it was hilarious. I didn't think I did that, but she goes, I was an asshole in theaters at that age. I would just speak out like, what are we doing? You know, can we leave?
Now you threw Sean Connery in my head. So now I've got to go find the Sir Gawain and the Green Knight.
Green Knight.
Hey, homework assignment. Go back and watch Monster Squad and then figure out at what age you're going to let your kids watch it.
Already have.
I'm trying to figure out if Malcolm's old enough for Willow yet.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
6,
he'll be okay,
6,
right?
Yeah.
But did he watch any of the Lord of the Rings stuff?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I want to start him on the cartoon, the about Rankin and Bass and Bakshi stuff.
Yeah, but guys, this was a fun one. This was a fun show. I want to thank everybody. But yes, homework assignment. Everyone in the comments today, write how old are you going to let your kid watch Monster Squad? Let me give you a quick heads up. No. Our kid probably already watched it. She's I think the one of the heroes smokes and calls the kid the F word in the first 2 minutes of the movie, and they have an argument about which teenager is a virgin. So
love it.
That's great.
It might be a while. Might be a few years.
Might be a few years. Yeah, Wayne, it's a few years on them. Okay, well, I want to thank Wayne Kruger for coming in.
Thanks.
Art director specialist, Chris Patrick. Thank you for all the artwork, Patrick. It all looks great. And my lovely wife, thank you for going to take care of our kids during it. It was like seamless. It was like seamless. You just are in and out. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Oh, real quick shout out. I'd like to thank the countries of Spain, Mexico, and Australia for all listening to Ruin. God bless you. I'm going to learn all of your national anthems. I promise.
Or at least the curse words.
Watching, I will definitely. And circulate the link. And if you're listening to this on audio, I look fantastic. Last word.